American educational psychologist Robert Gagne's 9 Steps of Instruction takes both internal and external learning conditions into consideration. It tends to force the repetition of information on the learner. What I like most about this method is that it allows some room for trial and error in hopes that the student will be able to perform the task independently after training or instruction is completed. What I dislike most about this method is that the 9 steps may seem a bit lengthy at times, and some learners may become bored and may not embrace or welcome the constant repetition. Working in the instructional technology field since the 70s, Dr. Gerald Kemp introduced what is now known as Kemp's Instructional Design Model in 1985, which was later revised and reintroduced in 2010. The overall model is quite unique and flexible. It is made up of 9 components, which is centered around the learner and can be applied or used in any order based on each student's need. The oval shape that's often used to demonstrate the model symbolizes the continuous process of learning. In the revised version, you'll notice that the components have now been grouped together by their purpose or objectives. Although the process seems a bit lengthy and there are risks of not knowing the learners who may often vary in learning styles, I like that it focuses on the learner's needs and takes everything into consideration. This model is used globally as a training model standard to evaluate training effectiveness, and according to some, it's considered one of the most comprehensive strategies. It was developed by Donald Kirkpatrick, who also served as the president of the American Society for Training and Development. You'll mainly see this model used in industry settings, applying tools such as surveys, interviews, focus groups, pre- and post-tests, case studies, quality inspections, and observations from peers, admins, and/or clients or customers, to name a few. I like this model because it's simple and easy to understand. It gives an organization an overall view of their training program and, if any, what changes should be made. One thing that I noticed and disliked about the model is as the level of evaluation increased, the difficulty and the cost seemed to increase also. Merrill's first principles of instruction. In 2002, Dr. Dave Merrill developed these principles as a broad review of instructional models after years of comparing their design theories and looking for the mutual elements they shared. You'll tend to see this model of instruction used by several different entities such as business and industry, education, government, healthcare, and even military. Merrill's principle is problem-centered and reinforces that learning is promoted when learners are engaged in solving real-world problems. For example, morning students, we're going to learn how to bake a cake. First, there's the activation phase, where existing knowledge is activated as the foundation or basis for new knowledge. What do you actually know about baking a cake? Then there's the demonstration phase, where new knowledge is demonstrated to the learner. I'll show you how to bake a cake. Then there's the application phase, where new knowledge is applied by the learner. Now it's your turn to try it. And finally, there's the integration phase, where new knowledge is integrated into the student's world. Now the student can say, "Look what I can do. I can bake a cake." Although it doesn't have a truly formal way of assessing or evaluating students and may not apply to each and every learning environment, I like this model because it can be applied to real-world issues and focuses on constructivism, how people actually learn, while also promoting student engagement in the process. It shows that people construct their own knowledge and understanding through experiencing and reflecting on those experiences. So at the end of the day, as an educational technologist, I've come to find that there's no perfect model, no one size fits all. There are pros and cons to each, so it's up to the instructional designers to determine their goals and to find models that fit their instructional design needs.
created using Powtoon.